Let's go ahead and get started. Well, welcome everybody to Gentle Yoga. I'm so glad that you are here today, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share those practice with each and every one of you. So as we get started with our practice today, let's just find a comfortable spot on our mats, on our floors, wherever we're at. And as we find that comfortable spot, let's begin to just find some stillness with our bodies. And then with that stillness, allow that breath to just be a natural breath. Allow the eyelids to just gently rest on our eyes. And begin just reaching into our bodies a little bit to just seek some areas to soften. Seek some areas to soften and relax. Areas such as those shoulders, in through the neck and the jaw, and the hands, and through those glutes and ankles and our feet. And today with our practice, we're going to try to begin focusing on three things. That first thing is the breath. Focus on just what that breath feels like right now. Not doing anything special with it, just your inhales and your exhales. Just seeing if that breath is smooth or if it's not smooth, if it's labored or if it's calm and comfortable. Maybe it's a little bit turbulent or maybe it's a little bit shallow, and that's okay. Because the second thing we're going to try and do now is just to deepen that breath. And if you're able to breathe in and out through your nose, and if you're unable to, just get a breath any way you know how. And so we'll take that deep inhale and fill those lungs as much as we can. And then exhale and empty those lungs as much as we can. And as we breathe in, just imagine we're filling up a cup of water from the bottom to the top. And as we're exhaling, just imagine we're emptying that cup from the top to the very bottom. On the inhales, notice how the air feels, the coolness as it passes through our nose or past our lips. On the exhale, the warmth as it passes the same way. On the inhale, notice the rise of our spine, the lengthening from the crown of our head to our tailbone, the expansion of our ribs. And on the exhale, allowing our body to soften, maybe just hunching over a little bit, belly soft, shoulders relaxed. Let's just do a couple more of those. And the third thing we'll try and do now is just to feel. And we're going to feel in multiple ways today. Of course, we're going to get our bodies into some physical postures or asanas. And so as we feel those postures, what we want to try to do is feel something that is just right for our bodies today. Not trying to feel an overabundance in our stretches or an overabundance on our physical structures. And so seek to find what feels just right. Not too much and not too little. And there's that area right in the middle. And we call that the just right or the sweet spot. So we find the sweet spot in our postures, and that's how we treat our bodies the right way. But then also trying to feel something within our minds and emotions. Try to feel a sense of gratitude. Think about something you might be grateful for today and directing our minds towards that. And then as we put it all together, allowing ourselves to feel that warmth and that gratefulness for our ability to move our bodies and to make choices for our bodies. Because as we connect the two together, we'll begin to focus. We'll begin to get into a sense of mindfulness. And that's required as we get into our practice, is to fully just be right here. As we move our bodies, be completely in touch with how we're moving those bodies. because that's the only way. That's the only way we're going to know whether the postures are just right for us today. We'll continue our practice in a seated position if you're not there already. And we'll continue with more breathing, some pranayama. This one will contain some breath retention, so if you have a history of some heart disease or just labored breathing, just breathe in and out like we were earlier. Otherwise, bring your right hand to your belly, left hand to your heart. And the cadence is we're going to breathe in for a 4 count and then hold that breath for a 4 count. That's all relative to each one of us. And then exhale for a 4 count and hold our breath at the bottom for that 4 count. And let's do about 5 more rounds of that. Inhale, mouth or nose, and hold. And exhale, mouth or nose, and hold. Again, inhale, and hold. And exhale, and hold. A couple more rounds of that at your own pace. And now just resume that nice deep inhale and exhale without the holds. We're getting that seated position. Sit nice and tall, hands at heart center. We begin connecting movement and breath. As we inhale and fan our arms up to the side, inhale and reach nice and tall, hands connect at the top, and exhale to our heart center. And let's do that 4 more times as we inhale and reach for those fingertips and exhale on the way down. Let the pace of that breath now, as deeply as you can on the in, and as long as you can on the exhale, let the pace of that breath guide the pace of your moves. So that each one of us is moving at a different pace that's designed exactly for our breath capacity and designed exactly for our breaths today. Very nice. Let's go 1 more time with that inhale, reach for it, and exhale, and come on down, heart center. With our left hand, go ahead and grab onto our shin, and our right hand reaches up. Inhale and hold that right hand up there. Look at that right hand and press our hips to the right side of the room as if we're trying to set our hips on the wall. And then breathe as deeply as you can. Expand those ribs, expand those lungs, and feel that stretch even more on the right side. On the exhale, then bring that right hand through a big circle and do that 2 more times. Inhale it up, and then exhale and sweep it through. 1 last time. Inhale, on up, and exhale down. Then we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So right hand is on the shin. Inhale the left hand up, nice and tall, and stay right there. Look at the left hand and press our hips to the left side of the room. And then with that deep breath, fill those lungs as much as you can. Fill those lungs up and feel those ribs expand. Take an inhale, and on our next exhale, circle that arm through on the exhale, and then inhale it up nice and tall, and exhale it right on through. 1 last time right there. Inhale up, and exhale on down. Good. Hands back to heart center for a moment. We're going to bring our hands out to the side now. Nice and wide out to the side. Inhale and then exhale. 1 hand over the other or 1 arm over the other. Give yourself a hug. Inhale and then switch arms. Big inhale and exhale. Okay, so this is like a cat and cow for our shoulders. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and stretch out those chest and shoulders. Then exhale and round those shoulders and stretch between the middle part and upper part of our back. Okay, you can even round that spine a little bit as you give yourself a hug. Inhale and exhale. Again, the pace of that breath is guiding the pace in how you move. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Bringing our hands back to heart center, and then just point those fingers towards me and press those hands together as much as you can. So feel those fingertips in the palms of your hands and those thumbs. And we're just going to push the hands out and then right back to heart center, keeping the tension on those hands. So much so that you feel your shoulders, your chest muscles, and even your triceps, some of that upper body engagement. Push and drive. Good. Maybe a little exhale on the way out. And then inhale right back to heart center. Good. 2 more. And last one. That's just a nice way to get the upper body warmed up today. Good. All right. From here, let's bring those legs out in front of us and hands to our side. I'm going to turn just a little bit at an angle, and we're just going to bring the knees in together, so in and out. So we're just going to draw the heels in and tap them in and out, or float those heels up off the ground in and out. Okay? Just a little bit of core activation again. And you can tap those heels out. You can always do this one leg at a time too. One leg at a time. Okay, so that's always an option. Nice. And as those knees come in, lean in just a little. And then lengthen and lean back. One last time. One last time. And let's find the heels on the ground and our knees bent. And now we're just going to hinge through our knees only. Keep the hips right where they're at. And begin kicking one foot up at a time. Just kick and kick. So I'm not moving my upper body. I'm not moving my hips. The only thing I'm doing is hinging right through those knees, as if there's a bar right through those knees. Okay, and so as we kick, maybe those toes toward the shins, up into the top part of our hip flexors and that complex of muscles. Really, really engaging those legs now and into our core muscles. Excellent. Last time right and last time left. Okay, so I'm going to guide us through getting up to a standing up position. If you just want to stand up, that's fine too. Otherwise, bring our feet out nice and wide to the edges of our mats. And then we're going to take our dominant hand, whichever it is for you, and place it on the ground. From there, push that hand in and start lifting our hips up off the ground. And with your other hand, begin reaching forward and then rocking forward so that we can get fully on our feet and then just stand up nice and tall. Inhale and then exhale right back to heart center. Very nice. Nice fancy way to get up, right? Very good. So let's take our hands now, feet about hip distance apart. We'll interlock those fingers and then press the palms up towards the sky. Reaching up nice and high. Press those palms as high as those hands will go. Biceps right on the outside of those ears. Little shoulder mobility. Breathe in and fill those lungs, and then exhale and lean to the right. Inhale to the center and exhale to the left. And begin just flowing through that. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do that one more time to the right and one more time to the left. Very nice. Inhale back to the top and exhale. Bring those hands right back to heart center. And maybe even shake those arms out a little bit. Just shake those arms out. Hang with me for just a moment. There we go. All right. Hands back to heart center. And we're going to inhale and just reach up nice and tall. And exhale and forward fold. Nice long spine as we come down from the crown of our head to our tailbone. And then we'll come down. I'm going to face to the side. You keep facing towards me. And as we get down to the bottom, we can either rest those hands onto our legs or fingertips onto the ground, or if we have a block or something to raise the floor up to our hands a little bit, that's good too. So just do what makes sense for you. We're going to spend a few moments right here in this forward fold because it's a comforting pose. It's a one that helps to interact with our central nervous system. It helps get us into a restful state or parasympathetic state versus a more active or fight or flight mode. That sympathetic state. So it just allows ourselves to find a nice way to use our own body to calm us down,
to relieve ourselves of some stress and anxiety. So we calm down, we just allow ourselves to relax. Shoulders relax, space between our teeth, and relax our jaw. And then allow the crown of the head to fall to the floor. A couple more breaths right here. And then when we find another inhale, we're going to drape our hands across our shins, hands rest below our knees. Just get a nice long spine, crown of our head to our tailbone. Still a soft bend in our knees, but just imagine we're sitting our tailbone on the wall that's behind us and keeping our body as long as we can, almost a little arch in our lower back. And if we're doing that, we're feeling a little dynamic tension up the back of those hamstrings, into those glutes, and into our lower back. This is a really good stretch for our body. Without moving our upper body at all, we're going to move those hands just back by our hips and just hold them back. It's called airplane pose. So that means we're engaging our core just a little bit more. And we didn't move at all. We're able to stay right here. Very nice. From here, let's bring our hands to heart center and just bring that tailbone down just a little bit towards the ground as we sit into chair pose. And my feet are separated, but those feet can also be together. Okay? And we can also have our hands up forward and out, or right there, a prayer if it bothers our shoulders. Okay? Just find the depth of that chair pose that works for you. Good. The whole foot on the ground. Maybe you're feeling the weight of your body shift into your heels right here. And we just breathe. We use the power of that breath to cope with what we're feeling on our legs. On our next inhale, we'll sweep those hands up nice and tall. Nice and tall, and exhale right back to heart center. So my goal with gentle yoga is to keep us off our knees, keep us off our hands. And so our sun salutation will do exactly that. I'm going to turn slightly at an angle. We're going to inhale up, nice and tall, and exhale, and forward fold. On our inhale, a half lift. Drape those hands across those shins, rest below our knees. Next, exhale, forward fold, and then sweep those hands all the way up back to the sky. Again, inhale, and exhale right back to heart center. Let's do 4 more of those as we inhale up nice and tall, and exhale, forward fold. Inhaling up to flat back, exhale back to forward fold, and inhale, reach nice and tall, right back to heart center again. Inhale, through those fingertips. Exhale, long spine on the way down. Inhale, up, flat back, still that long spine. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, reach as high as we can, and right back, exhale, heart center. Couple more as we inhale and reach, and exhale, come on down. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, up, nice and tall. There we are, and exhale, right back to Tadasana. Inhale to Udita and exhale into forward fold, Uttanasana. Good. Exhale up, half lift, and exhale back to forward fold. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, one more time. Make this a moving meditation. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale and exhale. Rest those thumbs on our heart. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stand nice and tall in this mountain pose. It's called Tadasana. I just like it because after we've completed all that, we can say Tadasana. Very nice. We'll begin our standing sequences in Warrior One. Right foot forward. Got my block here nearby, or something, whatever you have that's available to you. Right foot forward and left foot back. That left foot is pointing slightly to the left side of the room, both heels of toes on the ground, hips slightly coming forward, only so much so that I feel that hip, and it's good on that back knee and ankle. Hands up toward the sky, roll those shoulders down away from those ears, and then sink into this pose and find that spot that works the best for you. Now that third part we talked about. We're feeling something. We're concentrating on the pose. And in order to really feel something, we have to think about, how does this feel in our bodies? Is it just right? Or is it too much? Or is that spot right in the middle? Is it the sweet spot for us? Good. Now from here, we're going to move into warrior two. Front leg stays right where it's at. Back foot steps out and points to the left side of the room and extend those arms front and back. You stay right there. I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to turn sideways. Good. So warrior two, key thing here, nice and strong legs. Nice and strong legs on the front and on the back. That back glute is squeezed a little bit. And then a nice tall posture, ears over shoulders and over hips. Just think about the trunk of our body standing nice and tall so that both of our feet are evenly holding our whole body up. Good. Then we're going to flow through reverse warrior and right angle. So on the exhale, we're going to flip that front hand and then inhale that front hand up to the sky and reach nice and high. We're going to hold this for a little bit as we breathe. With reverse warrior, that back hand can rest on our leg, on our tailbone, or wrap completely around our waist, and we're still squeezing that back left glute so that our hips are coming pressing a little bit more toward the side that our torso or belly button is facing. Good. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, that right forearm on top of that right leg, avoid the knee and backhand to the hip or up toward the sky. If you want a little something extra here, you can extend that right angle, bicep to the ear. If you're still jonesing for a little bit more, walk that right arm to the inside of the leg, find a blocker, find the floor. Good. And now we're going to flow through this. So on our next inhale, back to reverse warrior. Inhale. And then exhale and right angle. And do that 3 more times. Inhale, reverse, and exhale, right angle. And extend that if it's comfortable. Good. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And then last time, inhale. And exhale. Find warrior two. And hang out right there. Good. Let's go ahead and lengthen that front leg, and we're going to switch to the other side. Very nice. Very nice. So left leg will be forward now, and right leg back. Deep bend in that left knee, knee going towards our toes. So much so I can look down, I can see my big toe and my little toe. Okay, all right. Hips slightly coming forward. It might feel a little bit different on this side. Arms up, shoulders roll down and away from those ears. Breathe through this. Where's your just right in warrior one? Okay. Again, standing nice and tall, nice tall posture in warrior one, almost arching that lower back a little bit. And let's find warrior two here. Front leg, front toes, stay right where they're at. Point the right toes to the right side of the room. And then open up, warrior two. I'm going to face to the side. You stay right there. Good. And again, strong legs in this warrior. It's called warrior for a reason because of the strength related to this pose. Okay, again, so squeeze those right glutes, engage those muscles. Those hips slightly come forward. You feel a lot more in through those hip flexors while doing that. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, flip that left hand, and then inhale that left hand up nice and tall towards the sky. Good. That just gets that palm in a kind of the right alignment for our shoulder. Palm pointing or almost giving a high five to someone behind us. And that just helps maintain good alignment up top here. So we continue to reach up nice and tall and create that space through our ribs and down to our hips. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, it's right angle pose time. Left forearm to the top of that left leg. Back hand to the hip or up toward the sky. Excellent. Excellent. And of course, for Jones and for more, right? Extend that right angle pose, bicep toward the ear. Take that left hand if you want a little extra. Come to the inside part of that leg. And then stack through those shoulders and ribs. And keep that back leg, that right leg nice and engaged. Now we're going to flow through this on our next inhale, reverse warrior. And on our next exhale, right angle. Good. Inhale and exhale. Just 2 more times. Just 2 more times. In and out. Rock up, reverse, and forward. Let's find warrior two. Very nice. Lengthen that front leg and come on out. Whew. How about you? I'm feeling something on that one. All right. Good. And when I'm concentrating on poses, I'm not thinking about other things, and that's all good. Okay, crescent pose. Crescent pose. So my right foot's going to be forward and left foot back. With crescent pose, Both feet are facing forward, hips and shoulders are facing forward, which means that back heel is up off the ground. That back heel is up off the ground. So we're going to reach up nice and tall with those hands, thumbs to the back of the room. Anytime we go beyond shoulder height, okay? Hands can be anywhere right here, beyond shoulder height, try and get those thumbs up toward the sky. Just a good alignment. I don't know, I just felt the need to tell you because we're right here. Okay? All right, let's bring those hands now to heart center. Staying nice and tall, ears over shoulders over hips. Press those hands together and just rotate and face the right side. Rotate and face that right leg. Good. Staying still, nice and tall, ears over shoulders over hips. Good. Nice and tall, that's reaching into that left hip a little bit. Squeeze those legs together, scissor those legs toward each other. And then exhale, back to front and center. Again with those hands interlocked. Interlock those fingers, press those palms up toward the sky, biceps surrounding those ears, and now just press and reach to the right side with those palms. Really digging in now, really reaching in to that left hip. That back heel still up. Unless you need some stability, then you set it down. Outstanding. Let's come right back up. Inhale, and then exhale to our heart center. Lengthen that leg, walk that back foot in, both feet on the ground. Pyramid pose. Pyramid pose. So nice and tall. Hips and shoulders square. And then exhale and come on down. Soft bend in that right leg. And just walk down that leg. And again, we're seeking just right. Find what feels good right here. Seek that just right. For me, my just right is to use that block, rest my hands on that block, and then breathe into it. And when you find your just right, then find the restful nature of this pose. Drop the crown of your head and round your spine and breathe and relax. Check in on that left hip a little bit. Make sure it's still square. Even just reaching that left hand back and nudging it a little forward. And just nice stretch. Just lengthen up through that hamstring. Lengthen up and the connection into the glutes in our lower back. Very nice. A little bend in our knees. Let's step both feet forward. Sweep those hands up nice and tall. And exhale right back to heart center. Awesome. Same thing, other side now. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Crescent pose. Crescent pose, arms up, shoulders rolled down away from our ears, thumbs to the back of the room. I'm going to turn to the side for just a moment. You stay right there. Okay? And the only reason I'm turning to the side, I just want to make sure you can see that that knee is hovering right above the ankle and that back heel is up. I've got a long leg here, still a soft bend right there, and to my right knee. But then also look through my posture here, from my hips on up, okay? I'm squeezing my back glute. I got a little arch in my back, and it's all engaged. Okay, nice and tall, nice and tall. So everything's engaged. I'm not just, feeling just nice and loosey-goosey here. Engage everything in this pose. Outstanding. Let's bring those hands to heart center now. And then stay nice and tall in that engaged position. Face that left leg, turn. Ears over shoulders over hips. Just a little rotation. Okay? Good for our spine health to rotate and move our bodies. So that's what we're doing. Stay nice and tall. And then we'll exhale back to center. Again, interlocking those fingers and pressing those palms up to the sky. And then this time, inhale and then exhale those palms to the left side. Press. And that allows us to lengthen on the right side in through our glutes, or not our glutes, our hip flexors, and our core. Just feel that total connection. Ribs on down. Very nice. As we come back to center, inhale and then exhale to heart center. Let's step on forward. Right foot comes in, both feet on the ground, pyramid pose. Breathe in nice and tall, hips and shoulders square to the front. Exhale and come on down. I'm going to turn to the side. Good. Exhale and come on down. Both feet stay on the ground. Hips and shoulders square. And when you just adjust and find that spot to settle in, and drop the crown of your head, relax your jaw, and breathe. Remember how we felt in that forward fold earlier? It's the same idea with this pose. Just our legs are spread out, so that's okay. 2 more breaths. And go ahead and bend those knees, step forward, and sweep those hands nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Got one more sequence, standing posture for us. So we'll start right back in Warrior One again. Right back in Warrior One. Okay, so right foot forward, left foot back, heel to toe on the ground, that left foot pointed to the side. We'll find Warrior One. Okay, shoulders rolled down and away from our ears. And then we're going to find eagle arms right here. So bring those arms out nice and wide. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then eagle arms, drop that right elbow into the left elbow and either give yourself a hug, bring the back of your hands together or palms together and then lift those elbows up. Okay, you stay right there. I'm going to turn to the side. Warrior One with eagle arms. Okay, so Warrior One from eagle arms. What we're going to find now is Warrior Three with eagle arms. So we're going to begin leaning forward, almost perching that eagle, or setting that eagle on a perch, which is the top of our leg. Okay? And then begin lifting that left heel up off the ground and lengthening that right leg. And just trying to make your body into a straight line. It doesn't matter whether you are or not. Okay, just visualize that that's the way it feels on your body. And if you visualize it that way, then you're in the pose the right way for you. Good. Shoulders and hips as square to the ground as best we can. When we come out of this, let's go ahead and release those arms. Glue that back foot on the ground, Warrior Two pose. Good. Warrior Two pose. That looks great. Very nice. A little mercy on that front leg. Now go ahead and lengthen that front leg and we're going to find triangle pose. So breathe in as much as we can, then reach as far forward as far as you can before we tip over. Hand above or below the knee, back hand to the hip or up toward the sky. And if you need a little something extra, use that block. And just focus more on stacking those shoulders, ribs, and your hips. Heart lifting up toward the sky versus how low can I get that right hand to go. Okay? Because when I get my right hand down here, this is just me personally, when I got my right hand down here, where's my heart pointing? If there was a flashlight in my heart, I'm illuminating the ground right now. Okay? What my goal is for my body is to illuminate straight ahead, the wall right in front of me. Okay? And that's really the objective of this pose, is to try and lift your heart up a little bit higher. On our next exhale, come find that Warrior Two. Good. And then step out of it. All right. And we'll do the same thing other side. Excellent. Left foot forward and right foot back. Let's find Warrior One. Again, both feet on the ground here. And that right foot's pointing just slightly off to the right side of the room. Arms up. And then arms out. And now eagle arms. Left elbow into right elbow. And find your version of eagle arms on this side and then lift those elbows up. You stay right there. I'm going to turn to the side. From the side. Nice stretch between those shoulder blades. It's time to perch that eagle onto our leg, lean forward. And then begin lifting that right heel up off the ground. We're going towards Warrior Three with eagle arms. Warrior Three, eagle arms. Okay, at any point in time this feels uncomfortable for you, you can set those hands down. You can do something different with them. Okay? All right. Again, this may not be your just right, and that's okay. A few more moments right here, and then we'll slowly come out of Warrior Three and find Warrior Two. We'll subtract one. We'll subtract a warrior from Warrior Three to Warrior Two. Here we go. All right. Very nice. A little mercy right here. Let's lengthen that front leg. And then breathe in nice and tall. And exhale, reach as far forward as we can. Reach, and our hips go in the opposite direction. Then tip over. Look at that motion right there. When I'm right there, all I'm doing, I'm not moving anything else. Okay? I'm not moving anything else. Those arms are just moving. Okay? Almost like a puppet. Almost like a puppet. All right. And so this is the posture that works for me. And you find the posture that works for you. So imagine that little string on our sternum, lifting our heart up to the sky. Very nice. A little bend in that knee, Warrior Two. Come right back out. There we go. Whew. All right. A lot of activity on those legs. Let's continue with a little bit more balanced work right here. So tree pose. So we're going to take our right foot and just strengthen that right foot into our mats. Just grab in a little bit with our toes. Okay, and our left foot and knee, we're going to bring out and point to the left side, externally rotate that. Now those toes can stay on the ground, heel above the ankle, or that foot above or below our knee, keeping the knee pointing to the left side. Hands can begin in heart center, and then we can create some branches on our tree pose. And even interlock those fingers at the top, steeple fingers, create that evergreen tree. If you're jonesing for a little bit more in this pose, you can look up. If you're jonesing for a whole lot more here, you can close your eyes and hang on for a good ride. Whew. One more inhale, and on the exhale, gently with control. Come on out. Very nice. Same thing, other side. So left foot on the ground. Again, get a nice strong left foot. Point your right knee and toes toward the right side of the room. Good, and here we go. Find your version of tree pose on this side. What works for you? Now if you're on the leg with that foot, again, we're still avoiding that knee. But once we find that spot above or below the knee, you can push that foot into your leg as hard as you want. You can push that leg into the foot as hard as you want. Like really press, like create that strong, it's a tree pose, so we create a trunk. That's the foundation of the tree. Create a strong foundation right here. Push those things together, and that will help to center you even more and give you that stronger foundation in this pose. Pick your hands out, however you want to go. Look up, close your eyes. All sorts of options in tree pose. A few more moments right here. Breathe in and exhale and release. Good. Let's do one more. Back to the right foot on the ground. We're just going to bring the left knee up. We're going to keep that knee bent. We're going to hold on to the outside of that left knee with our left hand. So initially just balancing right here. Okay? Then with our right hand, we're going to replace that left hand. So come to the outside of our left leg and just hang on right there. And then we'll point that left hand behind us. Okay, and then maybe look to the left side, or maybe look at that left hand behind us. So it's a little revolved, modified hand to toe. And then we'll exhale right back to center when we're ready. And come on out. Very nice. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Claw that left foot in. Very nice. Right knee comes up. Right hand supports that right knee initially. See, look at that. I just wobbled. So how do we respond when we wobble? It's like, okay, I'll just do it again. That's fine. Or, oh, geez, I'm horrible at this. Okay? Choose our words. Remember how we're talking to ourselves because we're listening, right? We're listening. Left hand replaces that right hand. Point that right hand behind us. And turn to the right. Or look behind and see that right hand. You see me wobbling a little bit. That's okay. And then as we exhale, we come right back down and front and center. Good. All right, let's go ahead and take a seat onto our mats. I'm not going to guide us to get there. You just take your time and find that seated position. From that seated position, right leg forward, left leg bent, the sole of that foot just into the inside part of that right leg. And we're going to inhale up nice and tall, and then exhale forward fold, just for a single leg fold. Single leg fold. And you just reach as far forward as you can. Reach those fingertips forward, towards the front as far as you can go. When you can go no further, just like that triangle pose, then we just kind of stabilize in this one. We just stabilize. Again, we're not trying to jam into it. We're not trying to bring our nose and our knee together and challenge ourselves to see how close we can get. It's not what it's about. You feel something, that's just about all you need. It's just about all you need. Very nice. As we release, let's take that left leg
and bring the ankle above the right knee, keeping those left toes right toward our shin, and then hands to the side as we put a little bend into that knee. So seated pigeon pose. So just watch that left knee doesn't crawl up a little bit. Try and just keep it open a little bit so we're keeping that figure 4 type of shape going with our legs. And then once we get here, we can sit up nice and tall to feel a nice stretch in through our hips and our glutes. Good stretch there. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to set that left foot on the ground. So we're just going to bring it all the way over and set it down so our legs are kind of twisted up into a little pretzel. With our right arm, take the eye of your elbow, the crease of your elbow, and just bring it right in front of your knee and give that left knee a hug and that right hand behind you, and just rotate and sit nice and tall and breathe. Nice stretch, really deep. You might be able to feel that deep into the glutes. Excellent. As we exhale and come back to that seated position, we're going to lengthen that left leg this time. Right leg is bent. Inhale up nice and tall. And again, reach as far forward as you can. As far forward as you can. And then stabilize on that spot where you feel that's a decent stretch for you. Without going overboard. It feels really good. And then we just breathe into this. On our next exhale, we'll go ahead and gently release. And this time that right ankle above that left knee, the toes toward the shins, hands to the side, bend that left knee and just find that spot that works for you here. Maybe that leg's out there longer, that's fine too. Okay, or that foot's fully on the ground. And just think about that right knee opening up and maintain that figure 4 shape as best you can. That will really help us maintain that alignment and get a good stretch through those hips and glutes. One more inhale and then exhale. We're going to take that right foot and just set it onto the ground. Set it onto the ground. And then with the eye of our elbow on that left side, right in front of our right knee, right hand behind us, and sit tall. Sit tall and rotate. And trying to reach in now to the outside of that right leg. Deep glute muscles and the connection into our lower back. One more inhale, and then on our exhale, let's come right back front and center. We'll keep those knees bent, feet on the floor. 2 times, we're going to put that boat into the water. 2 times. And so we're going to grab behind those knees. And we're just going to start leaning back just a little bit and floating those heels up off the ground. You're welcome to keep those hands right there and those heels and those knees bent, or lengthen those legs and bring those arms out nice and wide. Can also set those fingertips on to the ground. So this is the first boat we're launching today. Make sure we keep that boat afloat. Those legs nice and strong. This is a lot of core strength right here. And a good tall posture. Crown of our head through our shoulders and hips. Shoulders rolled down and away from our ears. Let's lean forward. Set those heels down. Seated child's pose. And then we'll do that one more time. One more time. Good. Let's lean back into it. Again, find that boat that works for you. What would I name my boat? What would you name your boat? Right now it's just keeping the boat afloat. I think that's what I would name it. Or maybe I would just name it Navasana. Navasana. That's boat posture in Sanskrit. And then exhale, come on forward. Okay. We're going to roll onto our backs now. And keep those knees bent and lock those ankles. And just come onto our backs nice and gently. Okay, hips, our feet about hip distance apart. Same with the knees. And we're just going to begin just windshield wipering those knees. Side to side. Just rock those knees side to side.
Okay? And just allowing that to get a stretch in through the top of our hips there and the tip of that hip bone. Keeping our shoulder blades on the ground as best we can. We're just going to rock side to side. We're not going to hold anything. This is what we're going to do. Just a little bit of rotation. Just a little bit of rotation. Rocking side to side. Good. And then let's bring those feet and knees together, knees still bent. And then the soles of those feet, as we widen out our knees, let our knees drape down towards the ground. Get the soles of those feet together like butterfly pose on our back, reclining goddess. Reclining goddess. So our hands to the side of our hips. We'll do a little dynamic movement here and then a little restful pose. So the dynamic movement is more of a core exercise. So reclining goddess, where we're going to lift our hips, pressing through the outside or pinky toe side of our feet and shoulders. Lift your hips up, inhale, and then exhale and release them down. So it's like a bridge pose with our knees out nice and wide. Really great stretch for the inside of those hips. Okay, and then of course that connection into our lower back. This stuff's all related, folks. It's all related. Inhale, and then exhale down. And give me 2 more of those. Inhale and then gently release down. And then final time, all the way up and all the way down. Good. Now let's draw those knees toward our chest, just to offset that arch with a little rounding of our spine. Maybe a little rock side to side, that's fine too. Good little massage on our back. And then from here we're going to find final relaxation or a Shavasana, either laying down or if it's more comfortable for you to find a seated position, go ahead and find that. And we're just going to find just a little bit of relaxation for a couple of minutes. So as we find this relaxation, allow your body to just be fully 100% on your mat, whether that's seated or laying down or even face down. Reach into your body and find any of those areas that still may be holding on to tension. Still may be engaged. And then just allow yourself to release those. Breathe in and out, and on the exhale, just let it go. Allow that breath to become a natural, everyday breath, just like we had when we started. Then your eyelids resting on your eyes, nice and gently. And our body finds stillness. And with a still body, we allow our minds to connect with our practice. What did we do for ourselves today? How do you feel right now versus when we started 60 minutes ago? Did you allow yourself to fully be right here? Did you allow yourself to let go a little bit and just feel? Feel physically, feel emotionally, and allowing that mindful connection of how you felt. We allow ourselves to let go of some things, but did we allow ourselves to embrace some things as well? Some things that are beneficial and helpful. Did we allow ourselves to embrace gratitude and honor of our bodies? Did we allow ourselves to embrace peacefulness and calm, even through chaotic poses like chair and some of the others? We allow ourselves to just deepen our practice and mature our practice so that the skills we've learned today on the mat can be something that applies throughout the rest of our day off the mat. Perhaps we did some things we weren't quite sure we were able to do.
Or maybe we weren't able to do some things that previously we were able to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. What that's called is mindfulness and making important choices and informed choices for you today. With so much of where we don't have control, the one thing we do have control is how we control ourselves. How we move in our responses to whatever situations we might be in. Our bodies and our breath and our minds allow for us to interact together to make choices. And those choices are refined. They're refined on our mats and applied off our mats. Our closing message. Yoga is about working hard, but doing it with sensitivity, doing it with gentleness and moderation. It's about feeling good as opposed to looking good. How do we feel? The focus here is balance. The focus here is healing. The focus here is calm and peace. I honor the love and light in each of you, as it's also within me. Namaste.